and welcome back to the final segment of our show this morning, which is a conversation with our friends over at the Coastal Zone Management Authority and Institute as they commemorate Coastal Awareness Week. That being said, we have with us online Arlene Young. She is a director at the Coastal Zone Management Authority and Institute. She's also joined by Andrea Rosado, who's a data manager at CZMAI. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Asane.
Good morning.
Coastal Awareness Week. Happy Coastal Awareness Week, by the way. How are we celebrating Coastal Awareness Week? First of all, in these interesting times that we're living in, I know that ordinarily you guys would have a list of activities lined up where, you know, the week kicks off with a bang. How are we doing it this time around?
Well, this time around, we're trying to align our team and our activities to address some of the challenges that were faced during this pandemic. And our theme for this year is Back to Nature, investing in natural capital for the recovery of livelihoods and environmental health. So we are trying to be creative, innovative in this digital world, and we will feature mostly or almost everything for that will be virtual. So Ms. Rosado will give us a lineup of the activities, but generally I just wanted to let the public, let the viewers know that the Coastal Awareness Week is one of our flagship events for the CZMEI, and our mission really is to lead the sustainable use and plan development of our coastal zone. And so in line with that, we are also responsible to share these awareness activities to improve the public knowledge and participation, encourage public participation in these activities that would promote better management of our resources found in our coastal zone. And so this Coastal Awareness Week is one such forum that we use to share the knowledge and have participation at various levels, primary school, secondary, and the general public involved in these activities.
So you did in fact have an essay competition, or I should say you'll be announcing the winner. Talk to us about the themes that you wanted people to write about, and how do you keep people focused on marine issues during this time?
Well, that is particularly why we chose this topic, and having the focus on marine issues is important because now more than ever, we need to ensure that we invest in our natural capital, tourism, shipping, fishing. Those are key sectors that depend on our natural resources, and it is important that we not only build resilience for climate change, but any external shocks such as a pandemic. And so we want to ensure that our students are aware of the challenges that this pandemic has caused to several sectors, not only tourism, and to portray that. And if they're not able to adequately capture that in their essays, we have some video presentations from our partners that we will be airing during this week that will help to reinforce some of the impacts on other sectors, as well as how we can change those into opportunities.
Awesome. And so there's the poster and essay competition for young people to participate in. And as you clearly said, it's an opportunity to take a look at the importance of nature. If we look at what's happened with the complete shutdown of tourism for such a prolonged time, is there an opportunity that came from this in the mildest way, that some of the areas that perhaps were of concern got a little chance for a momentary break? Or tell us about what you've been seeing.
Yes, I think, as I mentioned, this pandemic came at a time where globally our natural resources and our marine resources have been under significant pressure from not only human activities but climate change as well. We noticed our partners and colleagues, such as the Fragments of Hope, they have and continue to report on bleaching. There's also the stony coral tissue loss disease that continues to affect some northern areas of our reefs. And so while the tourism activities may have given the reef and the marine environment a short break, there are still other pressures that we still need to work. So our conservation partners are still out there hard at work doing the reef monitoring, water quality, patrolling in terms of enforcement. So those activities are still important, and more than ever now, we need to continue those activities.
And what about things like fishing and some of the behaviors that you know used to require a lot of resources to be able to monitor and mitigate?
Yes, it does pose a challenge, and so in this time, agencies have had to be creative in terms of how they do their monitoring, how they do enforcement. And for us particularly, we have always tried to implement technology to assist us in terms of using drones, partnering with agencies who are already out there doing monitoring to assist with data collection and providing reports, community researchers that can assist us in telling us what's happening out there. They're the ones who are out there still fishing. There's still the issues with lionfish. So so those are some of the challenges that we still face, but creative ways of how some agencies have tried to address them.
Yeah. And so other activities, let's get Andrea into the conversation. Tell us what people can expect to see this week as you celebrate Coastal Zone Awareness Week.
Okay, so I'll just be going through all the activities that we have lined up for the week. So today we'll be having our virtual opening ceremony via our Facebook page. And then tomorrow we'll be having our Coastal Awareness Week trivia competition where the Belizean public can get a chance to win a prize by answering some questions that will be posted via our Facebook page. All questions will be related to this year's theme, which, as Ms. Arlene said, is Back to Nature, Investing in Natural Capital for the Recovery of Livelihoods and Environmental Health. This daily trivia will run throughout the week, and at the end of the week, the individual who answers the most questions correctly will win a tablet and a keyboard. And on Wednesday, we will be announcing the winners of the primary school poster competition. What we did for this activity is that we invited Standard 6, Standard 5, and Standard 4 students across the country to submit a drawing or painting depicting their interpretation of this year's theme, how they see, going back to nature. So students submitted their posters virtually, and the deadline for this competition was last week, Friday, which was October 23rd. We received a total of 17 very creative and attractive posters, and you could clearly see the time and the effort that went into these submissions. The top 3 submissions will get, first place will get a tablet with a keyboard, a printer, and a headset. Second place will win a printer, photocopier, scanner combo that comes with ink cartridges and a headset. Third place will get a basket with school supplies and a headset. Next, we have the secondary school essay competition, whereby similarly to the poster competition, the secondary school students were asked to submit a 400-word essay based on their interpretation of this year's theme. This was, again, an opportunity for high school students to write what going back to nature meant to them. Again, the deadline was Friday, and for this competition, we received a total of 42 submissions that came across the country from Corozal all the way down to Toledo, ranging from first to fourth farm. So these 42 students are competing for first prize, which is a Dell laptop, a printer, and a headset. Second place is a tablet, keyboard, and a headset. Third place is a printer, scanner, photocopier combo that comes with ink and a headset. And the winners of this competition will be announced on Wednesday on our Facebook page. So for the prizes of both the poster and the essay competition, we really wanted to help the 6 deserving students who took the time and the effort into their submissions, as well as support this ongoing online learning initiative that's happening throughout the country.
Yeah, those are some great prizes. I know whether the student doesn't have this device, they can always use the upgrade and perhaps pass on theirs to somebody who needs it as well.
Yes.
The trivia is also an opportunity for the wider public. What type of questions can people expect? I think Isani has a good knowledge of these things. You could probably ask him one of these questions.
So like I mentioned, they will be based on our theme. I can't, give any hints to it.
Oh.
But usually for this activity, we would have the event at the Bliss Institute.
Yeah.
So it's different this time around, but we'll be opening up the competition up to the public, so they would have a chance to win that tablet.
Yeah.
I could give a few hints. So you need to brush up on the history of CZMEI.
Okay.
You can brush up on that, and there's information available on our website, social media page. We will also feature questions as it relates to our protected areas system in Belize, as well as I mentioned earlier, focusing on questions of the use of the coastal zone by different sectors. So just dropping some hints.
Okay.
Some questions.
Yeah.
So we have our last activity on Friday, which will be a virtual fun night, and closing, which will be live on our Facebook page, live on the CTN channel, and live streamed on the Sector 9 app. This event will be live from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And despite everything around us, we wanted to lighten up the mood a little and celebrate our efforts made by our partners and stakeholders throughout the year. We'll be having DJs such as DJ Chris, DJ Sambo, and DJ Smurf playing some nice tunes to lighten up the mood. And this during this fun night, we will have short video clips that our partners have prepared, which will highlight really how they have been continuing their work in the midst of this pandemic. Yeah. The link to join the Sector 9 app will be posted on our Facebook page. And again, this event will be live streamed from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Friday. Yes. And last but not least, we want to thank our sponsors for this year's event. The first, one of our biggest sponsors is the Mar2R project, which is short for the Integrated Ridge to Reef Management of the Mesoamerican Reef Ecoregion Project, which is quite a mouthful.
Yeah, and I like the shortened version better.
Yes, and then next we have Full Tech Systems Limited and the Angelus Press Limited and the Sector 9 Studios app.
And before we go, I think it's so critical. Your work continues whether or not we are paying attention to what's happening beyond our own little bubble. And I'd love for you to share with us just some closing thoughts as to what people can do during this time to contribute towards the wider goal, which is the protection of our marine resources and our coastal waterways.
Okay. Currently, not only in Belize, the thought that is trending is blue recovery. And so while there's stimulus packages for the economic sector, we can't forget that we also have our coastal and marine resources that we need to improve our efforts on. And so the things that we can do range from small things as, in terms of reducing marine pollution and plastics in the ocean, using reusable bags, using biodegradable products, taking your bags to the supermarket. Those little things do count and do add up as it relates to the grander scheme of marine pollution. So that's one thing that the general public can do. I think in terms of reducing our impact as it relates to fishing pressure, we know a lot of people out there are engaged in fishing, but in terms of food security, we can plant our own garden at home. So I think reducing the pressure on the environment is important in this time. A lot of people have resorted to doing their home gardening to get their fresh produce. And if we do need to go to fish, do it sustainably. Adhere to the seasons for lobster count and all the important fish resources that sustain our economic sectors. So those are some of the small things that I think we can do. And,
Awesome.
At the national level, we continue to engage in projects both nationally and internationally that will help to strengthen, as I mentioned, our resilience not only to climate change but external shocks like the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, thank you for telling us, for leaving with those particular tips and keeping us grounded in the work that we can do to help with this cause. And of course, we encourage people to tune into your live opening as well as your closing virtual bash. And Isani says he'll brush up on his CZMAI history for the trivia. But that takes place as well online on your Facebook. Thank you, ladies, for telling us all about it. Best of luck and happy Coastal Awareness Week to you and all your team.
Thank you.
Thank you too, and thanks to Channel 5 for this opportunity.
All right. All right, and with that, we're going to go ahead and take a final break. When we come back, we'll have our wrap-up, so stay tuned.